Alright, so this is the time I almost got arrested. Now, this story, oddly enough, begins in about 2 years before it happens in a philosophy class. I was debating which class to take. There was an 11 o'clock class and an earlier class, and I decided to take the later class because it was later in the day. It was the same instructor, same class, same everything. It was Intro to Ethics, oddly enough. So, I was in this philosophy class, and it was a rather great class. Brian Lynn was a great instructor. But there were these guys in the back of I always sat in the second row. Right behind me was these guys, BJ, Poof, and Jerome. And didn't really become friends with Jerome, but I became friends with Poof and BJ. And Poof, his name was Poof because his last name was Poofall. And so that's why we called him Poof. And BJ, he was mixed, and I guess on his freshman year dorm floor, he was the only, there was like 3 Joshes, so he became Black Josh, which was BJ. So, I became friends with them. About halfway through the semester, they were having a party, and they said, "Hey, you should come." And so I went to their party, came friends with them. Then they moved out, and BJ went off to lived in Kansas City, and then Poof just kept going to school. So one night we decided we were going to go to Fieldhouse. Now Fieldhouse in Columbia, Missouri was the bar that had, like, Friday night, it was like the $7 bottomless cup. So we went there. We were hanging out. It was time to, so we hung out for a while, and then it was time to leave. And every night after the bars closed, the police lined up because people get into fights outside. Well, so I was going outside. I saw BJ and Poof. I was getting ready. Poof was our ride. So there was this big fight, and I tried to walk around the fight because I didn't have anything to do with it. And somebody grabbed me and pushed me in the street from the fight. And I got pushed, oddly enough, into a police officer and a bunch of girls. So, of course, they put me in handcuffs, and they put me in the middle of the street. And they're like, "Oh, what was going on?" And I was like, "I don't know. I didn't have anything to do with this. I just want to go home. There's my ride. I didn't have anything to do with this fight." So I stood there in handcuffs for about 5-10 minutes. BJ and Poof were wanting to know they might have to bail out of jail. But they didn't. Ended up getting to go home with BJ and Poof. And the moral of the story is, little choices, like, for example, had I taken the other philosophy class, I never would have met BJ and Poof, and I never would have ended up at Fieldhouse, and I never would have ended up almost getting arrested that night at Fieldhouse. So that's it.